Hello, everybody, and welcome to Marley's Chronicles. This is your girl Marley, and we are excited to be here today. For those of you who have subscribed and been watching, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your love. Thank you to all of my family and friends that have been watching every week, that's been supporting me. Thank you so much. It means a lot. And at the end of the day, we're all family and or friends in one way or another. So I thank you for your love. And I thank you for everything that you do to support me, not just this, but in other ways as well. For those of you that this is your first time to this channel, you just stumbled across this video, welcome. I'm your girl Marley, and this channel is all about uplifting. It's all about inspiring. It's all about educating. I've dealt with depression. I'm dealing with depression. I'm dealing with anxieties and childhood traumas. And I give tips on how to overcome, how to cope, how to deal. And hopefully these tips have been a blessing to you. I know it has been to me. I'll go back sometimes and look at the videos, and I'm like, yeah, because I have to remind myself, because this thing is not a once you've overcome, that's it forever. It is a constant battle. It is a constant fight. It is every day, 24 hours. You're dealing with yourself. You're learning yourself. You're becoming more aware of yourself, so that when triggers pop up, you know how to deal with it. And if you remember, I talk a lot about triggers in my other videos. And triggers are simply those things that set you on a path, those things that start off sometimes subtly, but it ends up leading you on the path of destruction. Whatever your go-to thing is, be it depression, be it suicidal thoughts, but it's that thing that sets you off. So we want to nip it in the bud. We want to kill it at the trigger point before it even starts, because sometimes that roller coaster starts rolling so fast you can't even catch up with it. Be aware of yourself. Know what ticks you off. Know what starts your mind to roll, and know what starts those evil thoughts. And when you see it and it presents yourself, kill it right then and there. Ask yourself why. Why am I having these thoughts? Why does this affect me in such a way? Why does it anger me like this? When you start asking why, then you start finding out the real you, the real deal. And the more, and I think it was last week or week before last, that I asked or asked those questions: the what, when, where, how, and why of a thing. Those are my go-to questions for everything in life, to figure out what's really going on. I ask myself those questions in every part of my life, really. So if you start asking yourself why is this happening? Why is it upsetting me like this? Then you start to dig below the surface. And below the surface is where we want to get, because nothing just happens. Everything has a root, everything has a starting point. And what we want to do as 40-year-old, 50-year-old, 60, 30, it doesn't matter. What we want to do is now kill the root, uproot that thing that was caused in our childhood, that has now blossomed and grown into this big old oak tree in our lives that not only affect us but others. That's the whole point of this thing. We want to uproot these trees. We want to, and not allow the seeds from that tree to trickle over into other people's lives, or to trickle over into our lives. So that's what this thing is all about. Finding out what your deal is, finding out why you're angry, finding out why things affect you the way they do. And again, this is not necessarily a question and answer period for the world. This is your own self analysis. This is your own little journey. You don't have to share this with anybody. But if you want to do this, if you want to be happy, if you want to be at peace, if you want to be prosperous, you have to be honest with yourself. That's all that matters. You have to be honest with yourself. And believe me, there are things that are so big. There are oak trees in our lives that the roots are so uh, deep and the tree is so big that we can't do this on our own. Get help, be it some type of mental support, be it a spiritual support, or just go straight to God and ask God to help you. I am a witness that if you get on your knees, you confess to God, tell God that you are such a weakling and you need help to take this, whatever it is, out of you, to take this, whatever you're dealing with, away from you, and to never have it to show up. God will do it. He will. He won't all the time do it like that overnight, but he will do it. He will start the process. You have to trust that process. A lot of times we think that God is not healing us, that God is not doing what we ask. There are a lot of supernatural miracles. I've seen that myself too, and I'll talk about that another time. But there are a lot of things God do supernaturally, with instantaneously, overnight. As soon as you ask it, God will do it in some situations. But in most situations, the process. There's a process, because I've learned that in the process, a lot of other things take place. A lot of healing takes place, a lot of nurturing, a lot of growth, a lot of understanding takes place. Again, there are some things that God would do instantly. As soon as you ask it, boom, he does it. But then there are things that takes a process. And I thank God for the process. The process hurts sometimes, most of the time. The process is long, but the process is right and the process is needed. So I thank God for that. Today is not really a specific point that I wanted to make. I just want to kind of check in and keep these videos up, because believe it or not, it's been helping me seriously. As I said, this is my digital journey. This is my digital upkeep of myself, and little things like this, uh getting before you guys and talking and sharing and sometimes confessing, it helps me on my path. And it's not always the big things in life that changes you, but it's not like one or two huge big things, but it's a lot of the little small things, the little subtle things that you change, that helps you in your process. Doing these videos is not a big huge thing. It's just me sitting in front of my camera and talking to you guys. Sometimes I don't have any views. Sometimes I have one or two, three, four views, but it doesn't matter. It helps me. And in the process of helping me, I pray that it helps somebody else. Also, getting up, waking up to have a purpose, and to do things and to be accountable. All those little small things help in your or our recovery, if you want to use that word, recovery. Help us to get back to that pleasant being that God created. Because what we are today is not what God created. Life, hardships, disappointments, failures, all of those things created us. Traumas, all those things created us, but we are not so uh, far gone that we can't come back to that natural state. There is nothing that you have done there, and I said this before, but I feel a need to say it again. There's nothing that you have done, there's nothing that you have said, there's nothing in this world that you have done so bad that God won't forgive you. If the person or people that you hurt don't forgive you, then that's gonna have to be their issue. But you have to ask God to forgive you, and you have to receive forgiveness for yourself. You have to forgive yourself. I remember praying to God, God, forgive me for whatever. Forgive me for it. The same thing over and over. And God spoke to my consciousness and said, I have forgiven you. You have to forgive yourself. Now is the time to forgive yourself. If you were sincere and you sincerely ask God to forgive you, He is faithful, He is just, He will forgive you. Now forgive yourself. Let it go. If you have to do something to make amends for yourself, do that. But get to that peaceful place. Sometimes you have that little nagging in you because there are still things that you have to do. You may have to go to the person or people and ask forgiveness, or you may have to literally just let it go. But find out, there's that why. Why is that still nagging me? You have not done anything so bad that God won't forgive you. I don't care what it is. You could have murdered somebody. God is yet faithful. And if you come to Him in sincerity and in truth and in humbleness, He will forgive you. He will wash it all away. Now, mind you, you'll have to pay for that seed, be it however you have to pay for it. But God will forgive you. I love you so much. There's so much that's going on in this world. And I mean, just politically, atmosphere, financially, everything that you can think of. Is so much going on in this world. You don't need the added stress of not forgiving yourself. You don't need the added stress of guilt and shame. You don't need that. Go to God today and ask God to forgive you. If you do not have a relationship with God, go to Him and ask God, God, just say however you feel it. Because God don't listen to the fancy words. He looks at the pure heart. Go to God and say, God, I am a messed from the flow up. I am messed up. I am a wretch undone. I am horrible, but I need you in my life. I can't make it without you. I can't think straight. I can't talk. I can't do any of that. I need you. I literally surrender myself to you. I give up. I give up, God, and I ask that you come into my life. And if you do that for real, ask God to forgive you of your sins and to come into your life, He will do it. Don't let anybody make you believe that you're just the worst case scenario. God will come into your life and He will start that process. Remember, I talked a little earlier about the process. He will not, there are some things that need to happen fast in your life. There are some doors that need to shut instantly in your life. God would do that. Once you've given your life to God and you are sincere about it and things start happening fast in your life, you got to know it's God. Don't give up. Don't get scared. Don't turn around. Stay faithful to God. And then as the process continues, you start pulling out, and putting out the negativity, pulling out the animosity, pulling out the hate, pulling out the misunderstandings, and start putting on peace, start putting on love, start putting on understanding. That's what the walk is. It's not about being so holier than thou. It's about your peace, your love, your joy. all the good things that God gave us from the beginning that we've traded for whatever. We've traded our joy for anger because of what somebody said. We've traded our peace for revenge. We've traded out. The devil ain't take nothing from you. You traded. You literally traded your peace to gossip. Let's get back. Let's get back to that happy place in our lives. And again, 15 minutes come and go so fast. I have said I tried to cut it down to at least 10 minutes. Maybe that will help people to watch it longer. But thank you again for watching, for sharing, for being a part of my life. Any other way that you've touched it, thank you. I mean that with everything in me. Thank you. I love you so much. If this has been a blessing to you, subscribe, share. I don't care if you share it on your social media. If you think it's going to help somebody, do that. It's not even about none of that. It's about helping somebody. I promise you, helping somebody. You'll be surprised at what God looks at. We think God is in the big to do, but he's in the little small things. So this is Marley. Glad you can hang out with me today. You like my colors? I wanted to talk about just being you, doing you. Don't let nobody stop you. If you want to wear colors, I got green, purple, orange, and I don't know if you can see it well enough, but I got green lipstick on. It's not really green, it's when it's on. But anyway, my purpose is just do you. We are living in some times that we don't know what the end is going to be. We don't know what's in the afterlife. We don't know what's going to happen when we close our eyes. So while we're here, enjoy. We may not have the beautiful sunlight in the afterworld. We may not have mountains. We may not have beaches. We may not have good food. We may not have all this stuff that we take for granted now. Enjoy it. I cooked me some chicken and dumplings first time in my life. I cooked it yesterday and it was so good. We may not have those luxuries in the afterlife, but while we have it today, enjoy it. I love you. Don't be ashamed of who you are. God loves you, and there's nothing you can do to stop that love. Be blessed, my family. Be blessed, my friends. And I will see you next time on Marley's Chronicles. Bye-bye.